Yo, I am hyphen X, and welcome to the Great Conversation Podcast, where we indulge in healthy dialogue about topics that are important in today's society and culture. Man, y'all know this is a interactive show. We are live here on the LFP network. All right, so you can drop a hello in the comments. Let's see, we got a comment already here. Let's see who over here. Hey, what's going on? Got Patricia out here. What's going on, Patricia? How you feeling? So, what I want you guys to do, man, you guys can join the podcast, man. What we want you to do is put your comments inside of the comment area, and if it's you think it's hot, we'll bring it on the screen here, share it with the world, with the rest of the world. Okay, what we want you to do is we want you to go ahead and share this live. Go ahead and share this live. We have a treat for you guys today. We are talking, here at the Great Conversation Podcast, like we like to talk about taboo topics, you know what I'm saying? And in the, wait, hold on. Hold on, Spirit. We got to take care of the business first. We got to take care of the business first. Hold on. See, I was ready just to dive into it. Give me one moment here. I want to thank our past guests. We just got done wrapping up a series called Those Who Have Been Chosen to Lead. 3-part series. Guys, go and the videos are still up here on the LFP network. You can watch the replays on that. Also, if you're go ahead and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify or anywhere else that you're getting your podcasts from. Okay, make sure you guys are subscribed. We are live here. We got some upcoming events. We have on Tuesday, guys. Tuesday at 11 o'clock. This slot right here, 11 o'clock, right here live on the LFP network. We have Ask Your Host a Question. Who's the host? I'm the host. Ask me any question, I will answer it. I'm talking any question whatsoever. How uncomfortable, anything. How funny, how silly, it doesn't matter how deep, how shallow. Any question, I will answer it. I will answer it. Okay, that's going to be Tuesday at 11 o'clock. Ask Your Host, -X, guys. Share this live. All right. Our sponsors. I want to thank our sponsors for today's show. We have B2 Inspire. Their mission is to enlighten and inspire all who want to be enlightened and to share so much clarity and positivity from day-to-day life. Guys, go ahead, click the link. Click the link there. EmpressTay.myshopify.com. Guys, go ahead, click that link. Get some positivity and clarity in your life today. Okay. Also, Roots Branches is a non-profit organization that is dedicated to development of healthy and creative expression. Services include mentorship, workshops, event planning and management, marketing, and the creation of marketing materials. If you have any questions or inquiries, go ahead and email Roots, that's ROOTZ, branches, BRANCHES 07 @gmail.com. Okay. And it is a non-for-profit, so they are accepting donations, and that is a Cash App, Roots Branches. That's Roots, ROOTZ BRANCHES 07. Okay. And also, guys, if you guys like to donate here to the Great Conversation Podcast, you can also do so at Cash App, the $,
TGCD. Oh man, I got that 205 sometime, boy. It be out of nowhere. It be out of nowhere. Boom. I just lose track of one letter. $sign TGCPODCAST. Okay, go ahead. It's right there on the screen. All right, all right. If you want to be a sponsor, if you want to be a sponsor here on the show, go ahead. You can inbox us, or if you know me personally, go ahead and inbox me there. Or if you're about that business, go ahead and just send that cash app of $25. Put in the for you how to get in contact with you, and you will be a sponsor on the next show. All right. So just go ahead and do that. It's on the screen. You see it. Now, without further ado, we're gonna get into today's show. Now that we got the business out the way. Now that we got the business out the way. We talking about pedophiles at the dinner table. The holiday season is amongst us. Soon, there'll be a lot of people sitting at tables or in facilities in proximity of a table, like a living room or something, with a plate in their lap. And some people may be uncomfortable because someone from their past is actively and presently in their present. I'm bringing on Pretty Girl Jew.
Hi everybody. What's up, DC?
What's going on? What's going on?
Bless you.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for
Let
having me.
first of all let everybody know who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Okay, so pretty easy. I could definitely tell you guys a little bit about myself. So my name is Juju. Well, that's what I go by. So Juju. Born and raised city of Rockford, Illinois. So I've been here my whole life. Hate it here. I hate to say that, but yeah, it is what it is. Nonetheless, what I do few things. I would say I definitely do. I have a podcast. It is called Pop Off. So I'll be sure to drop a comment below once we're finished with the live to send you guys there, unless it's already tagged in this video. So I do a podcast. I've actually worked with DC on a podcast previously, so we have some history together in terms of that. I'm a full-time single mom, so of course my hands are full with my son. And then in my free time, I definitely like to coupon. So I'm huge with couponing. I like to save money. I like to take what I buy and flip it to make money. So it all works out for me in the end. So
Boom bang pow, straight like that. Now, we're talking about a taboo topic today. This is
indeed.
something this is something that I know that I when I speak to people about this, they're there's either they're hesitant or they just go ahead and flat out share like, hey, my uncle did this to me, or my auntie did this to me, or my sister did this to me, or my brother did this to me. We're talking about pedophiles at the dinner table. And I thought it was going to be very important that we started with some definitions so that we know. Because a lot of people will be like a person that's 50. If they're dating someone who's 20, then they're a pedophile. You know what I'm saying? But I want to go off of some definitions here. So a pedophile, a person who is sexually attracted to children. Okay. A child, now we need to define what a child is. A child is a young human being below the age of puberty or below the legal age of the majority, whatever that part means. Well, what is the legal age of the majority? In most countries, the age of the maturity. Look at that. I told you that 205 sneak in is 18. Is 18. So a person who is sexually attracted to someone who was under the age of 18 years old, knowingly. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a fair definition for it. I mean, it is what it is, knowingly adding that part. So yeah.
And I was looking at some stats. I was looking at some stats, and it said something like 30%, 30 to 40% of children who are molested by a family member. And then it said 50% were molested by someone who's close friends of the family or that the family knows.
Hmm. I mean,
In the wake of the tip, oh, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
Okay, in the wake of the Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears's video, how important was the message? Was the message more important than the characters you or the people used in the video, or are they the same?
I mean, it's all the same because those are the messengers. So, and for one, it was very difficult for me to even get through that video. And I would think for any normal human being, I guess, it 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 was uncomfortable, and I would think that's the same. To me, if it wasn't uncomfortable for someone to watch, that would tell me all I would need to know about that person. And so that
Mm,
to me says that the people who would act out something like this and their reason for doing it was the for comedy. I don't understand what was funny about that. Like where at what point during that skit was the comedy piece? Because it was literally cringeworthy from the very beginning. So I didn't know. I guess I would say that those people that acted that out would definitely fit the profile of a pedophile to me.
mm,
That's just how I mean. This is a child under the age of what 18, as you mentioned. They knew that. You can see that,
yeah.
and these are clearly adults over the age of 18 putting a child in a pretend situation. I guess that was to me the awkward part about it. This isn't even a real situation. It's not like they were doing something based on a true story and like like this was for comedy. So I think yeah, those are pedophiles and they are the messengers. So I think they go hand in hand.
Man, like you keep like you just said something heavy right there. Like you said because of the messen they are the messengers of the story. And I didn't see the comedy. Okay, so let me say this. Let me say this. I saw where they may perceive something to be funny, right? I'm like, oh, he's trying to be funny, trying to act like he's Bill Cosby, you know what I'm saying, with the googly eyes and everything. But to me, it's nasty. Like I see that he's trying to be funny. Like, let's just be honest, the black community ain't never really like moved with Ari Spears like that anyway. You know what I'm saying? He's always been like a I guess an opt in the black community.
And what about
Nobody really kind of really I now Tiffany Haddish, I think she was starting to get brought in, but if you listen to her stand up, she kind of tell you what it is with her foster kid, adopted by a Jewish family. You know what I'm saying? She kind of tell you kind of like who she is. You know what I'm saying? So like I think that black people we mess with her, but we don't rock with her.
okay,
You know
I
what I'm
think that's
saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like we don't rock with Tiffany Haddish like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why it was so easy to be like, All right,
Man,
you're out.
I don't know. For one, I don't even know how that video. I mean, obviously it was somewhere available to just go research, but um, I just I don't know what provoked that video to be released like that to the public. Like, but I know that they said that the people involved, now that they're older, it just seemed more like a money grab. You know, people had their opinions about the whole, you know, them being taken to court and all that. And I feel like, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. But aside from that, let's talk about the video. Like, that's whatever the court situation is, let that be that. That's separate. But the video itself, like, it was creepy. Like, that was some weird. I don't. I could barely watch it. I had to force myself to watch it just so that I could make sure I was formulating an accurate opinion about what the fuck was going on. But once I seen the first, like, I just once I was on Twitter, and one thing about Twitter is they gon' that's a different place. And so I started seeing people just tweet about it and voice their tweet opinions. It was trending. And so I'm like, damn, let me go, let me check this out. So I looked at it and I watched it, and I just I knew where it was going once she was like, oh, I gotta go. I'm finna, just leaving her child off. So I'm like, oh shit, I already know where this finna go. And then the little boy, like, just even if, let's just say it was not a situation like that, right? Whoever produced it, the way that they slowed the camera down, the music in the back, like, it was everything that just, it was inappropriate. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so that's why I'm like, okay, let's take the whole them being fucking weirdos out the picture. So whoever the cameraman was, or whoever chopped and screwed the video and put the edits in, they just as creepy. It's a whole team of people. It's not just them. Like, it's everybody involved. You know what I'm saying? They just so happen to be the people in front of the camera that we see and we know. So they take the backlash. But it was so much with that. I'm like, the parents, the mom, like, who would allow their child to participate in something like this? Like, it was a lot of creeps involved in that, honestly. A lot of pedophiles.
I agree with you on that. Okay, so what part? Okay, so what in the video made it pedophilish?
I just described it. The way that, even if we take the pedophilia out, the way that they had the little boy in certain positions, with him looking at the little boy, the music in the back, that's all. That's weird. This is a kid.
Yeah,
It's
there it
like
is.
a woman that this is, like, if this was a grown woman or man, even a grown man, you can do what you want. An adult here, as you define the legal age, seeing something like that is appropriate for adults. But to see something like that with the music, with the kid in certain positions, in his underwear, playing with certain, like, this is that. To answer your question, like, it's that.
Like I was very like I'm with you on that. Like I was very uncomfortable watching it. I even watched it like sped up. You know what I'm saying?
Trying
I
to
had to
get through
watch
it.
it sped up. Yeah. And I was just like, okay, I get what the message is. Don't just leave your child with anyone. I get what your message is. But why did you have to go to this extreme to say that message? Like it was nothing was left to like to the imagination. You know what I'm saying? Like that man when he was trying to get in the tub with that little boy, that man was touching that little boy. His body was on him. We don't know what he was saying in that little boy ear. You know what I'm saying?
And then the little
And
boy
I
was,
don't know
it,
who.
it was just, everything about it just felt wrong to watch as an adult. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, so to be involved in it from the production standpoint, like, it's a whole bunch of fucking creeps involved in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I see that particular situation. Now, most people agree with me. You do have some people who don't. I would say they're creeps too.
I would
They
too. I would have to agree with that.
That's fucking creepy.
Now,
Because
now it's
I
not.
would never let
It,
my
it's
son. I would never, like. I'm 31 years old. For one, I have never looked at a child, and there are kids who are cute, girls, boys, like cute kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have never looked at a child and thought anything sexual. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think of a child in that manner. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not, hell, I damn near don't even think of adults in that manner. So let alone a child. Like, that does not cross my mind. Even when there is a cute kid or a cute, you know what I'm saying? What cute, like, they're just a cute kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never think, and sometimes stuff like that makes me, is weird because, like, yesterday, for example, and this happens a lot, a lot. It's happened my son's whole life. It is always white men specifically, and I literally mean specifically, but they are fascinated with my son, and it bugs me out. So yesterday, I'm at Walmart couponing, right? And so I'm my son running up and down the aisle doing what he normally does when we're at Walmart. And so I'm literally now I'm hearing him and seeing he's near me, so I know he's near me, but I'm paying attention to what I'm getting. You know what I'm saying? Like the coupon, it's not a game. You really got to be focused. I really didn't want to bring him, but since we were coming from his football practice, he just came with me. I just went to Walmart. So this man, you know how like it doesn't matter as humans, it's like we can feel when somebody is looking. You know what I'm saying? Like we can just feel it, you know? And so once my spidey senses kicked in, I guess I felt somebody just looking. Need I mind you, I'm completely focused on what I have to do. I know my child is right there, I hear him, whatever, but I'm also completely focused on my task. This man is just sitting there looking at my child. You know what I'm saying? So I stopped, I looked, you know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking that once I look and acknowledge him, that he was gonna go on. No, he proceeded to continue looking at my son, and he was like, I don't want to say he's looking at it in a sexual manner, but I don't know that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know him. I'm thinking, like, why are you sitting here, just sitting here, looking at my child? And it literally, after I acknowledge you, go back to what I'm doing, you're still there. And then you're like, oh, he has a lot of energy, he this. And I'm trying to like, I'm like, yeah, you know, that's typical 6-year-old, you know. I'm it took him a minute to actually just go. You know what I'm saying? So that whole rest of the time at Walmart, I'm making sure I'm like, you gotta come because whether you a pedophile or whether you a kidnap trafficker, I don't know what it is, but it was just very
Right.
creepy. Even once he got, I acknowledged the man, exchanged minimal, you know, words, he did not move. He was like, so I worry even too about my own child. So to, and that has happened, not to that extreme where somebody has just sat there and just like literally just stared at him before and after I acknowledged him. That was the weird part for me. Most people, once you acknowledge them, they'll just kind of go on. CVS, coupon, when he's with me, these men, and like I say, they are white men who they just, I don't even know. I don't know what to call that, but that's just as a mom with a kid, I don't see how that was appropriate. The Tiffany Haddish situation, because there's a situation just like that that made me uncomfortable, and it was nothing sexual related. So I don't understand how completely sane adults can get a child in that situation and film it, cut, action, retake, and do all that. Man, that's weird. That is weird. Like they didn't
Yeah,
just take
it is weird.
one take for them to do that. They was filming. You know what I'm saying? Like that's weird.
No,
Weird as
that's
fuck.
definitely weird. You know what I'm saying? God, thank you for tuning in. This is the Great Conversation Podcast. I am your host, hyphen X. I got pretty girl Jew from the Pop Off podcast. We're talking about pedophiles at the dinner table right now. And you know, you say it's sick. I say it's sick. But there's some people that say it's natural.
Yeah, well, they sick. Like I said, they sick too. That's that.
they
Because
they
yeah, it could be your normal. Sure. Well, I'll give you that. It could be your normal. But the consensus normal, no, it's not.
well,
Yo,
there some people say
everybody I know felt uncomfortable watching that shit. I don't know one person who said, well, it was okay. It wasn't that bad, or just tried to downplay that it because there was nothing that like. I don't understand that. And like I said, even if we go back to like you asked, what are the parts that made it seem, we can X the whole. Let's pretend that wasn't the part, and that wasn't what we was going into. Just with the background music and how they had the little boy playing with the background music. Why is this playing with a child in the video? It don't matter what the act is. There's a kid in this video with R. Kelly. Seems like you ready playing. What the fuck type of shit is that? Like,
Yeah,
that's
that's
weird.
that airy spiritual. Yeah,
Right. And you know what? I'm
and
gonna be
Tiffany
honest.
Haddish.
I don't really know who he. I've known of him, but I don't like look into his work or his projects or like shit like that. So I don't know him like that. You know, I know of more Tiffany Haddish than I do of him. And so honestly, with her too, it just kind of was like, and bitch, you the mom leaving the child, and I bet you if this was really your child, would you even believe them if they told you some shit like that was happening? Like it just, I have so many questions about that. It's a lot of that weird ass shit going on now, and it's weird to me. Don't give a fuck who says normal, who says right. You're a weirdo too. It is what it is. This is my opinion, and I'm gonna stand behind that one.
It's like the conversation to be like I'm researching, right? I'm researching about the topic, right? Because
Yep,
I like to see all aspects, right?
of course.
I was like, I'm like, I knew it was a group that was gonna say that this is like
Justify it. Yeah, of course.
it's involuntary. You know what I'm saying? It's involuntary. This is how I was made. This, that, and the other. So my question to our to you, Jew, and also to our listeners right now is being sexually attracted to children a non-voluntary orientation? I'm gonna put my vote in. I'm gonna put my vote in and say that I believe it's a choice. I believe it's a choice. Period. I believe sexual orientation, period, is a choice. Period.
And this will go back to people saying they're born gay. It's honestly is one and the same if you ask me. Are there people who are born 5 cans short of a six pack? Yes. Yes, there are. And so I would say that of course that would be some sort of mental thing, but you probably do have people who are born attracted to kids. You wouldn't know that until you're an adult though. So because you would be a kid at one point. So
Right.
to another kid, that's normal. You wouldn't know until you got to a point where you were an adult and you maybe started to feel certain, like there's nothing wrong with being there are people now, let's get it clear, because you have kids like I mentioned in my son's age, kids, literal kids who still need somebody to walk them to the bus stop, under 10, like kids. You do have older kids who are more developed, once they start to hit puberty. They're still young, let's be clear, and to not be in a situation like that, let's say like a 15-year-old, that wouldn't be an appropriate situation for a 15-year-old either. People would probably more so excuse it because a 15-year-old is still, I guess they're I guess maybe old enough to be more aware, they're more developed, and can be mistaken to be a different age. But then I also ask, okay, can this 15-year-old legally drive a car? Can this 15-year-old legally go out and purchase and rent a house? Can this 15-year-old legally go into the store, buy liquor, buy cigarettes without being carded? If the answer is no to that, then that a 15-year-old shouldn't be in that situation either. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, yes, I do feel like there are people who are born a certain way. If you born and you liking you a man liking men and a woman like a woman that is an adult, cool. That's fine. If you have people who feel like, okay, that's even a mental thing, cool, fine. But when you get to a point where you are attracted to children as an adult, do I feel like it's weird? Yes. Do I also feel like it's something mental, like that you need to go get checked out? Yes, I do. You that's not normal. No. Because a kid, somebody who ain't even got titties, nobody who ain't even had a period or something, like ain't even got hair on it, like what how could you even be attracted to him, not even sexually, romantically? You know what I'm saying? Like how what can a kid, that's, yeah, you need to go get checked out.
Now, it's saying that some of the mental illnesses that are associated with pedophilia are schizophrenia, bipolar, and autism. You know, so I
Thus,
think
need
what we,
to go checked out. Going right
I,
back to go to the
right,
gynecologist.
and what I think what is becoming very scary right now is this. It's like we're living in an age where everybody wants to push therapy, right? Everybody wants to push therapy, but nobody's pushing any type of diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know, like it has to be a result, something tangible. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's wrong with you? What's it called, and how do you fix it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Patricia Hicks says she agrees. She agrees with us.
I mean, shit. How like
And
a normal
how,
person
how can you not?
is going to agree with it. You know, like what? How can you not? Like, I want someone to get on here and disagree because I really need to hear why you would disagree with something like this. Like, I mean, we all got kids. Would you want your kid? Would you let your kid act that role out? If your answer is no, then there we have it. Would you put your daughter in that role?
No, not at
Exactly.
all. And then I'm smacking who asked me. You know what I'm saying? I'm smacking who asked me. And we cease communication. We not cool no more.
Yeah,
Ever
you hear
again.
exactly. Because then
Like
now
like
I'm questioning you, like you said, because I'm gonna smack you. So now I'm questioning you. Are you a creep? Like, I mean, I hate to say terms like
exactly,
that,
yeah.
but that's some creep shit. I don't care what nobody says. It is what it is.
It, it is. Now check this out. So check this out. So like you said, we probably can come to the agreement that yes, people who can be maybe born like this, but that is a defect.
Yeah, it's definitely a defect. I mean, there are many defects, and that's definitely one.
That is a
I
defect.
don't think
Now,
necessarily just be punishable by jail time. It, like I said, that's you meant something wrong with you. Something's wrong with you. Yeah, I don't think throwing a pedophile in jail is not going to change the fact that they feel a certain way about kids because it's a pre they that's how they was wired. So you need to go see somebody who can fix those wires or give you some type of whatever. But jail ain't gonna do it.
so should they be allowed to come and speak to a professional without being reported if no crime has been confessed?
Yeah,
You
why
know what I'm
not?
saying? What if
Yeah,
so what if a guy, so what if there's a guy or a gal who says that they enjoy they don't have kids, they enjoy going to the parks just to watch children play.
okay, go watch and
Should
play.
should that,
Nobody.
because they're sexually attracted to them, but they don't touch anybody, they don't harm anyone.
There's no crime that's been committed. You can you
What
can
if
you can
that
you can
person what if they live next door to the park?
I think that if they live next door to the park, then if no crime has been committed, technically they just live next door to the park and they like watching kids. Unfortunately, you can't. It's a lot of weird shit going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? That's just one of them. And if you're saying no crime has been committed, then at the end of the day, there's just the creep next door. The only way somebody could be an offender of any sort is if they've been accused or commit some went through the court jail system and something was determined that they did something. Maybe a mom went to police, filed a report, something to say, hey, this person is doing this or my kid did that. But if no kid has said, oh, this person has touched me, oh, this or that. I mean, even as a parent, like that, let's take my situation for instance, the man in the store. Let's just say he lived next door to the park, you know, and I stayed in that area. The most I can do is either A, not take my child to that park to where as a man that likes to look at the park. B, make sure that you gotta watch your kids. Make sure they're not just out playing around when you know there's creeps around or you can move. I mean, it's not always that easy for somebody to just move. Some people own their house, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's always a resolution too. You can, of course, bring it to the attention of authorities, but you literally have to kill somebody for the police to blink. Like they don't do nothing. They're not going. The police is gonna laugh at you if you say there's this guy who's just looking at kids at the park. He's a little creepy. Did he do anything? No. Well, okay, well, we can't do nothing. And I feel like that's fair too. If he's going to see somebody and he's telling them this, I think that at least he's aware enough to know that, hey, I need to see somebody and I need to tell them this. And I think that's a start. Now, if they agree upon something, whatever him and his doctor agree upon, because I don't know what the legalities are between that. I do know that there are certain things that's confidential, but I do also know that if a crime has been committed of some sort or something, then that can be breached or something. But if there's no crime committed, he's just talking to his therapist. And you know how much shit therapists hear? That's just probably that much. It's people who do way more creep shit than that. So I don't think.
I believe the law. I believe the law is that now that if they come and they even say anything about being sexually attracted to children, the doctors do have to report them because I
But
think
that's
that's
fair
kind of
too.
what you said earlier. Like maybe that's not fair. I don't.
Yeah, it's not fair.
It's a slippery. It's a
Like it's the hazard.
yeah.
If like
Patricia
you
says she said that they should be reported without a crime.
like I said, I don't think they should go to jail. That's what I'm saying. But I think it should definitely be because it's not throwing them in jail is just going to be throwing them with other fucking pedophiles. That's not going to fix the problem, you know. But I do think that someone should be alerted and be on the lookout. That hey, that not is it fair to say, oh, they're a offender if they didn't do anything? Like, and so that's where you go to because if they didn't, like I said, they're not a criminal. Something is wrong with them. You know what I'm saying? So is it fair that they at least took the initiative to go see somebody? I think that that's being responsible. That's understanding that hey, I'm attracted to kids. I know I shouldn't be, but I am. So let me go holler at somebody about this. That's I feel like that's I wish like most pedophiles was like that. Actually, life would
Mm,
be a lot easier. We wouldn't have as many pedophiles just running around doing shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a sticky situation. If
God,
ain't no crime.
that it is. That is. That's the part right there. Because here's a person who's saying like, "Hey, I need to seek some counseling. Something ain't right." You know what I'm saying? I haven't done anything. This, that, and the other. But then, as a professional, you know what I'm saying? They do have a legality, like where they a duty where they have to report that
Yeah,
because it's a child. It's
I
about a children.
feel like at the discretion of the doctor, because if you really feel like okay, this person based on what they're telling you that okay, this is just what they're feeling, maybe they won't act on it, but based on what they're telling you, if you feel like they have acted, although they saying they have, you know what I'm saying, then yeah, like I feel like it's also a discretion because like there are so many things that people do, you know what I'm saying, due to mental health issues and being attracted to kids. I think that is something to because I don't think a normal person, and I hate to just say normal person, not normal, but that's just for lack of better terms, someone in their right mind, I guess, there's nothing about a kid that's I don't even I can't even think that deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's just me. I don't know.
I think it's a slippery slope when society and I this gonna sound bad. I'm just gonna sound bad when
Then kill
society just starts
somebody before
to
you
ex
said
where society where society just starts to accept everything and everyone.
what do you mean?
I believe oh, I believe it becomes very dangerous. Sometimes I be feeling like an old white man. I'll be like, oh, they done let these people in. They don't let those people in. Oh, here come the blacks. Here come the women. Here come the gays. Here come the queers. Here come the transsexuals. And now here come the pedophiles. They are trying to establish themselves as a group of people.
I draw the line at pedophiles. I draw
As
the
a
draw the line
yeah,
because
like
those groups that you just named, none of those groups are attracted to kids. They are attracted to people maybe of the same sex or want to change their sex, but it has nothing to do with kids. So I draw the line at pedophile.
True.
Once again, you can do all the other shit. I draw the line when you start dingling with kids. Like that's just me.
No,
Now,
that's
if you
real.
those
That's
groups too,
real.
and you dingle with kids, then you a pedophile, and you one of them. You still over there because kids, those are all adult groups. And think about it. If we even want to take it somewhere in that direction, for example, the whole like with the Dwayne Wade and his child, and people having something to say. And what was their main thing? That is a child, right? So how is a child making such a drastic decision about their sex, whether we agree with it or not? The majority of people felt like, yeah, let him do him when he's an adult. So that shit matters in a lot of different aspects, even if we talking about, transgenders and things of that sort. So once again, I draw the line at pedophile. I draw the line at pedophile. Like, I mean, I don't know. I draw the line at pedophile. Kids are innocent.
Patricia said she draw the line with you.
I'm drawing a line. X dot mark the casket closed is 10 feet under bare. The shit I'm not doing with the kids. I don't like when people talk about kids. I don't like when innocent kids. That's the problem. We live in a society now that has no fucking regard or respect for kids. They're treated like adults, and that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? They get shot up in these streets in adult bullshit. You let them change their gender at under 15 years old. They're being treated like adults. You got adults who talk about kids, other people kids and shit. Like, these kids, they are innocent. So anything that ain't positive that got to do with kids, I don't fuck with, whether it's this or that. Like, that's just how I feel about kids. That's just in general. So when I watched that video, I wasn't fucking with it at all. I literally I turned my head so many times, but I'm like, just watch it, make sure you ain't missing nothing. So to give your whole opinion,
Yeah.
man, no, 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 no.
Like I
No.
said, I watched it in hyper speed. I had to watch it in hyper speed because I get a lot of inboxes, you know what I'm saying? I speak to a lot of people, and the feedback I got on this just the title alone, pedophiles at the dinner table. I had a young, I won't say her name, but she's gonna know if this is her story. And she's telling me she wanted to hop on and tell us about how her mother chose her molester over her.
That happens a lot. It does. It definitely does. And that's sad.
I watch a lot. I watch Raising Canaan over the weekend,
You should
and
let her
there's a
come on.
scene now. Yeah, I try to get her to come on. I try to,
But go
but I
ahead.
was watching Raising Canaan where he slept with his girlfriend's mother. Right, he slept with his girlfriend's mother. Now Canaan is 15, 16 years old. He slept with his
Because I haven't
girlfriend's mother.
not watched this yet. So
Oh, my bad.
no, you good, but go ahead. No, I haven't watched it at all. I've never watched any episodes. So I don't
Oh,
I don't
okay.
have to. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So he sleeps with his girlfriend's mother, and the girlfriend catches them. The mother tells her rule number one is you always have to keep your man. The girl throws some milk at the mom, and then Kanan wants to go after the girl, but the mom influences him to stay. I'm gonna say it like that. Influences him to stay. Do we believe that there's a difference or a double standard when it comes to male versus female pedophiles?
Always. It's gonna always be a double, unfortunately. Just like it is in any other type of sexual act that men or women can perform. And we can go back to yesterday with the shit that just happened if we want to provide examples of that. But for the sake of the interview and to keep things going, yeah, there is a double standard because a woman, even though, like I said, I have a young boy, so not only do I fear the creepy white men in the stores, but I also fear the fact that there could be creepy ass women. You know what I'm saying too. So to me, you a creep, you a creep. I don't. To me, ain't no double standard. Let's just put it like that. Like, but to society, yes, there is. And a woman, she might not be seen so much as one, because there. I mean, there are a lot of we see it all the time with teachers who get fired for messing around with they students. That's a pedophile. Like she's a
Yeah.
creep. The fuck? And then what she did is she went so far as to get a job around kids. Like, bitch, you a fucking creep. Throw her in the fucking jail. Like, these are kids, whether how attractive they are or not, whether they teenagers or not. This is a this is a child, and you're a grown up. Like that, you're an adult. They can't legally do nothing for you. You can only do and provide for them. And in this situation, who knows, like, is the teacher threatening to fail them? You know what I'm saying? Like, if the kid don't go through, like, you know what I'm saying, where this shit really matters to some kids who know that it's wrong and know that this shouldn't be in a situation, but their teacher might be telling them, well, I'm gonna flunk you. You won't be able to play basketball if you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, so who knows? Like, that's all some creep shit. Yep, it's a double standard to the world, but to me, I see it all as creeps. You creep, you creep. And, and
Yeah.
and like you said, that's just like the man who you said would live next door to the park, but you wouldn't got a job to teach kids. Come on now. Like,
With the college and everything. This is a well thought out plan.
thank you. That's my thank you. Yeah,
Well
yeah.
thought out. Like, what's crazy to me, Jew, is that okay, so I'm watching the Raising Canaan thing, right? And I caught myself like I wasn't as taken back. I'm just gonna be honest. I wasn't as taken back, but I was like, if this was the other way around, where it
Oh,
was like a male, a father, you know what I'm
yep,
saying? After somebody's girlfriend, I will be like, this is disgusting.
yep.
Castrate him. This, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? But I was more so like, okay, you getting some of that grown woman pussy.
That's the double standard. That's the double standard right there. That's the double standard. She's not
Caught
looked at
myself.
because he's looked at as like, oh shoot, you got you a grown woman, or you got you an older chick. Whole time she's a creep.
Yep, the whole time. The whole
She's a
time.
because how young is she willing to go?
Yeah. Yeah. It
Like, come on,
like
she's a
he's
fucking creep.
underage, man. This is the Great Conversation Podcast. I am the I am hyphen X, man. I'm talking with Pretty Girl Jew and Pop Off Radio. I'm sorry, Pop Off Podcast. We're talking about pedophiles at the dinner table. This episode is sponsored by B2 Inspired, where their mission is to enlighten and inspire all who are to be enlightened and to share so much clarity and positivity from our day-to-day life. Okay. I will put that back up on the screen here so you guys can make sure you check that out. It will be in the description below. We're talking about pedophiles at the dinner table. This is the time in our show where we do open up our lines here. We've been having some people commenting inside of the chat. Any questions that you guys may have, or you can click on the link that's been provided underneath the LFP network there, that you can actually come on live with us and say your piece. All you have to do is click that link. You can do so. We do have some upcoming events, guys. We have the Tuesday at 11 at 11. We have Ask Your Host. You know what I'm saying? Where you guys will be able to ask me any question. Any question. No questions are off limits. I will answer every single question that's asked during that live 1 hour broadcast. It's our sidebar conversation. It's going to be something that we do a little bit differently. Okay. Well, hold on. Real stuff. Male dixel functionality glorified. Oh, that's Allie. She just came with it. Allie, I wish you would just go. You can't just say something like that. You have to say something like that with an explanation. She
What she say?
said real stuff, male dysfunctionality. She said real stuff, male dysfunctionality glorification. I believe she's referring to the double standard of looking at the teenage boy like he's a conqueror. because he conquered an older woman, or was
Yeah.
led to believe he conquered that older woman. You know what I'm saying? Led to believe, but he was the one who was he was mounted. He was counted.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And she's shamed.
I don't know. Like
Like I said, like I
like
said, the
I got boys and girls. I got a boy and a girl. I got two boys and a girl. And I will say this, as far as like principles and values, exact same thing. But the method and how it's given, totally different. Totally different because it's received a different way. You know what I'm saying? That raising boys and raising girls is a little bit different.
oh yeah,
But
they
that one thing what's the same is that if you're an adult that's messing with a child, you're a sick motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like
because boys go through it too, and I think that's also something that is I think that's something that's overlooked. You know what I'm saying? Like that boys also go through that, and they don't necessarily go through it when they get to an age where they know what they're doing. Some of them go through it as early as, like I said, my son's age or 8, or not, like when they're young and really like, what is, like, hold on, you know what I'm saying? Like, not really knowing what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Don't know no sexual terminology. Kid don't know nothing. Don't know what a hole at. Don't know what the hole look like. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, what would you need and can do with this child? You know what I'm saying? Like, boy or girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just, I just, I couldn't, I don't know. Like it's just, I don't fucking know. Like, that's why I say it's a mental thing, because I cannot even think that deep. That's how I know there's a certain part of some people's brain that's just missing. Shit, it's gone.
yeah, I think it's okay to accept everyone, but even when you get on a plane, like it's a limit to how much luggage you can bring. You know what I'm saying? And we can't be out here just like I believe this is gonna happen because I remember when Netflix was like through the pandemic, Netflix went through their whole little thing where they had all these like coffee and Kareem that was very questionable. You know what I'm saying about how the white man was talking to the little black boy. You know what I'm saying, and all these sexual jokes and whatnot. And
But
then
I'm
they
saying,
had the
white man and black. I
yeah.
told you, it's
And
all
then
given.
they had that dancing show
White,
where the little girls was like showgirl dancers and shit on this on Netflix.
I know.
This is on mainstream television. Like they're trying to sneak this in there. You know what I'm
Ain't no,
saying?
ain't no trying.
Yeah, it's because it's gonna end up being legal,
You got
and
to
I
think
need
about
people to
YouTube.
be on the
YouTube. You got shit like YouTube, and there are things that my son done watched on YouTube that are catered to kids. You know, there are clearly adult content, but it is literally designed to attract a child. And I'm catching my son, and I'll give you an example. It's called. His name is Jeffy. He a little white puppet. He be having like a pencil sticking out his nose. He like a badass teenager that be
wow.
just doing shit. You know what I'm saying? And my son would be sitting there cracking the fuck up laughing at that shit. And then one day I heard, like I caught, like I'm listening, I'm just hearing what he what I'm like, what did that just say? He talking about some sticking something in the butt, and I'm like, whoa, what is you watching? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's another thing. Social media. And these kids, what do these kids have access to more than anything? Technology. Governed by
It's
adults.
hard.
Governed by sick adults. A lot and we all know mental health don't get enough attention as is. It's a lot of sick people out here, and I'm not talking physically ill. Like, and mental health just does not get enough attention because these same people are behind this technology. So I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, we're in that realm where everybody is like, you know, get the therapy, get the therapy, get the therapy, but nobody's listening to the diagnosis. Like I know it's scary to hear
In
that you
denial.
may have schizophrenia. I understand that. Yeah, but wouldn't you not rather hear that and then be like, oh, and this is how we're gonna treat it?
Exactly.
I don't know.
It,
I watched a lot of SV. I watched a lot of SVU in my lifetime,
me
and
too.
I know that pedophiles are. I know that pedophiles are real. You know what I'm saying? Spoken to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Who have told me about their stories,
I mean, go over your stats. What did
and
you say again? The percentage of people who are touched on or whatever by people outside
believe
of
it.
family, uh, friends of the family, and 30
Yeah,
to 40
30.
people within. That's a
Yes.
lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. That means that just like you said, that man next door that's watching at the park, that coworker that you sit next to, that might be a pedophile too. That's what those numbers tell me. That's high. That's a lot. That's
That's
not
what I
10,
said.
10,
I'm
10.
like, man,
That's 30 to 40% and counting. Like that's a lot. So that means that the people who you cool with, the people on our friends list, is some pedophiles in that group. That's what that means. That's what that means.
damn,
Think about it. Do those
damn,
numbers? So those numbers don't apply to people in Rockford. Ain't no pedophiles in Rockford. I'm not
damn,
saying that they've gone out and done things. Not all of them.
damn.
I'm pretty sure there are people who have done things, obviously, but a lot of people in the Black community, we all know some of that. A lot of that stuff gets swept under the rug. You know what I'm saying? So,
Damn.
is it not facts? Them the numbers you just
Damn.
posted. So where did you get your data from? Them facts. That means it's pedophiles.
Damn.
30%. That's 30 to 40%. Like, yeah, it's pedophiles out here. We might not be able to know who they are. Ain't nobody gonna come out
Oh
and say,
my
"Hey, I'm a
god.
pedophile." That's not how it works. But yeah,
That is how you apply stats in real life.
yeah, I mean, what
Damn.
for real. That's what it is. Like I don't like that. Like with anything with kids and stuff, I don't like it. I don't like it because kids are innocent. And even though you're innocent because you can't help the way you were born, you're not innocent when you know better and you don't choose to do better. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, hey, like you said, you might not like to hear it, but you know that you ain't supposed to be feeling a certain way about kids. Like that's not. And if you do, it's not right. It's illegal to act upon it. So even if you feel that way, even legally, you can't. You know what I'm saying? So if you do that, or if you like get to a point where you feel like you want to or have thoughts of it, you do need to go see somebody. I don't feel like it should be a crime unless you know better and don't do better. That's how I feel. That's how I feel.
Mm. Yo, that's pretty girl Jew right there.
Thank you.
Go ahead, run your tags. Let them know where you at, how to get in contact with you.
Well, is my Instagram. I don't know if my name's still up there, but my
I
Instagram
got you.
name.
Hold on.
Okay. Facebook, you can like pop off. So you can search pop off, and I'm pretty sure he tagged it too.
Yeah. Yeah,
Instagram,
they'll be in the description.
pretty girl Jew, girl without the I underscore at the end. And Facebook, that's where you can find me. Twitter, pop off 321. If you are on Twitter, I know a lot of people don't be on Twitter, but Twitter is the place to be. When all the stuff be going down, like this whole Tiffany had, like that's how I find out about a lot of stuff, and that's where I see a lot of opinions and like Pitman. You think, man, it's a different world over there, and that's what made me go look at it. Like, hey, what the fuck really went down in that video? And so I went to go see it. And then, of course, I had a couple people sending it to me. And then, of course, you get on Facebook, like social media. It was outrage behind that. So I'm like, man, even though I didn't want to, I'm like, let me see what the outrage is about. Like, is it that bad? And it was. Like, it was. Even when I went to see other bloggers who were, how bloggers get a comment, just like we doing, they were saying the same
Yeah.
thing. Like, it was cringeworthy. I could not barely get through. Like everybody was on the same page. Like for once, I felt like everybody was on the same page. Like I wish the world was like that all the time. Like everybody was on the same page with that. Like
I feel like they're gonna keep trying it. They're gonna
what you
keep
mean?
trying it to its extent. Like they're gonna keep trying to slowly introduce it in. That's what they be trying to do. And then they'll put it out, and then it'll be an outrage. You know what I'm saying? So they got to take it, go away from it. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, like this was an old video. This is an old video, and out of
So
nowhere,
yep.
well, let's just be honest. After Ari Spears said what he said about Lizzo, this video just came out.
Oh, that is right. Okay, you right. You right. Okay, I remember that. Okay. Okay. That is coincidental timing for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the Lizzo movement is like right up there with the Beehive. I'm gonna
Man,
be
it's a
very
lot
honest with y'all.
crazy. Mm-hmm.
It's repercussions. It's
And they
repercussions
digging the
talking down.
dirt. They be dirt. Dirt. Like they be finding dirt on people. Like them fan bases ain't nothing to play with.
Quick, quick,
Quick,
quick.
man.
All right, make sure you guys are subscribed here on the LFP network, man, so that you can catch us when we going live. Um, like I said, we're gonna be on Thursdays. What we got going on next week? Next week, like I said, Tuesday we got the extra host. Any question, I will answer any and all questions at 11 a.m. on Tuesday. And then that Thursday, we'll be right back here live on the LFP network when we're coming out the closet, guys. Coming out the closet, I'm a wrestling fan. All
Ain't
right.
no wrong.
I'm a I'm a I'm a wrestling fan. All right.
That's the rest.
And I got two other people coming out the closet with me. I got Daniel Void and I got Mr. Dre runs everything. He would be on the show as well. We're coming out the closet. We're wrestling fans. That would be on the 13th. And then on the 20th, guys, a whole new world. We're going to be talking to Mr. David. We're going to be talking about the metaverse. A whole new world. We're going to be talking about the metaverse. All right. So we got some things going off here. Check out Pretty Girls Juice podcast. What that I will have that link in the description. Coming up here very very soon. Uh, you guys know what we like to say here, man. It's a great conversation, man. You don't always have to agree to have a great conversation. Peace.